Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. That is the R in the RK Stumbling Bear, and I'm a reader and a writer. And I am back today because this year in 2026, I am playing a TBR game, and I am playing TBR Uno. So I am first going to explain how I'm going to play, and then I will show you the prompts that I have gotten for this month and tell you what books I'm reading. So I have assigned a prompt for each card in the deck. And just looking at my stats, I know that I read primarily science fiction, fantasy, and then I read a lot of romance. So I assigned all the red cards romance subgenres. Green I chose for fantasy, blue I chose for sci-fi, and then yellow I went with other. And I did a mix of like historical fiction, biography, memoir, nonfiction, physical, ebook, TBR, kind of to mix it up, because I do read other things other than genre fiction. And the idea with this is for every card that's laid down, that is a prompt for a week. I'm trying to read my prompts in a week. So if there's a chunky book, it'll be in a week. And I did play this with a real person. My mom actually very nicely played 2 rounds of Uno with me. And anytime she laid down a card, that prompt was for me. And then anytime I lay down a card, if you want to play along, you can set up your own, prompts, or you can use mine. But the card I play down would be your prompt. And so I will go over what those are in case you're wanting to play with me. Since this was just a 2-player game, if somebody played down a reverse or a skip, obviously the other person couldn't play. And so then that would be considered a bye week. So it's a week you don't have an official prompt and can kind of do whatever you want. I'm not trying to overwhelm myself, trying to read a whole bunch of books. I kind of know where my sweet spot is. And I am a mood reader, so I need to have room to read what I want to read in there. So I've shown you my prompt options. Now let's get into what I'm reading this month. So the first thing that my mom flipped over for me was a blue 7. And on my graph, that is a classic sci-fi. On that note, I decided to pick up 1984 by George Orwell. I have this physically on my shelf. I actually had slated to read this in 2025 as part of my Buzzwordathon, which, didn't happen. So I'm reading it this week, the first week of January. The first card I put down was a blue 6. Again, that could be whatever you want to do for your graph, or if you want to use mine, that would be a cyberpunk. Mom next put down a blue 1, which on my graph is a solar punk. And this one I got from the library. This is an anthology. It's called Multi-Species Cities, Solar Punk Urban Future, which I am excited to read. So I'll read this in the second week of January. And then the next one I put down was a red 1, which is on my graph, contemporary romance. It can be whatever you want on your graph. So then my mama put down a red 9, which I have as a romantasy. And for that one, I have picked up another book from my shelf, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. This is the sequel to Fourth Wing. I had to remember what it was. And it's been on my shelf for a while. I bought it after reading Fourth Wing because I liked Fourth Wing, but just haven't picked it up yet. So I know this one's a bit of a chunker. I think I can do it though, in a week. I think I can read it in a week. I played a red 8, which on my graph is a romance subplot. Which means the main genre can be whatever you want. It's just there's a romance in there. And it doesn't have to be the romance doesn't have to be on par with the other story. And then my mom also put a red 8, so I got my own romance subplot back. And for this one, I have chosen Heroes Adrift by Moira Moore. And This is like book 3 or 4 in this series. This is a series I started a long time ago, and there's two people who have magic. The girl, hers is more like the grounding magic, and the guy can do big fantastical things. They're only supposed to be working partners, but they've been kind of touchy-feely, and other people have made comments like, just sleep with each other already, get over it kind of thing. So there is kind of a romance plot going on behind the fantasy story. And then I didn't have another red to put down, so I drew. And the way Mom and I play, if you draw, that's it. If you don't keep drawing until you can play, you just draw once and pass. So you get a bye week. So for my TBR game, these are the 4 books that I am going to be reading in the month of January for the game. And I am also planning to read Metaphase by Vonda McIntyre. I've been reading this quartet with my online buddy group, so we're on book 3 now. The other book for the buddy read group is The Everlasting by Alex Harrow, which I'm not going to get to this month because I'm number 19 on 4 copies. So I'll just read it when it shows up from the library. Thank you for watching, and are you excited to find out how I think about any of these, or are you interested in playing along with me this year? I'd love to know. Thank you, and have a great day.